Hello and welcome to Look East Late News. In the programme tonight, concern over the number of unexpected deaths at one of our mental health trusts. A power company is ordered to pay more than £1 million after a jogger was electrocuted on a footpath in Essex.
And it's a topsy-turvy week of weather. I'll have all the details at the end of the programme.
Hello, I'm Susie Fowler-Watt. The Mental Health Trust for Norfolk and Suffolk has been in the spotlight today after it was revealed to have had the highest number of unexpected deaths in the country. The figures obtained by the Liberal Democrats show there have been 359 unexpected deaths among patients since April 2012. Last year alone, there were 129, as well as 214 serious incidents. Nikki Fox reports.
Christopher Higgins was 36 when he committed suicide in 2013. His death was classed as unexpected because he took his own life at a mental health unit in Kings Lynn. An internal investigation found failures leading up to his death. His family think it should have been looked at independently.
It's absolutely essential that the Trust does not investigate itself. And it's common sense because the police don't anymore, the prison service doesn't. As soon as anything untoward happens, it is investigated by an external agency.
The Lib Dems say the Trust has seen a 111% increase in 3 years compared to a national average of 21%. Campaigners are questioning why the rate's so high.
We asked for a meeting with the Director of Nursing to discuss the deaths. She never got in touch with us. The Chief Executive of the Trust has denied that the increase was anything outside of the normal. It now transpires that the increase is 5 times the national average.
We're setting up a trust-wide mortality group to review these deaths. We currently have a group operating in each county, which very clearly looks for trends, looks for patterns, and looks for lessons we could learn to prevent future deaths.
The Trust says it tried to organise a meeting with campaigners in November, but they didn't turn up. However, this recent demonstration in Norwich proves how much some want things to improve.
If you think back to mid-Staffordshire, there was a national outcry when we heard about those unexpected deaths of elderly people, and I think obviously we need to treat the deaths of people who suffer from mental ill health just as seriously.
Everyone, including the families of the bereaved, are united in asking for better mental health care. Whether that means an independent inquiry is for NHS England to decide. Nikki Fox, BBC Look East.
Well, Michael Scott is Chief Executive of the Norfolk and Suffolk NHS Foundation Trust. Earlier, I spoke to him about his organisation having the highest number of unexpected deaths last year. How did that make him feel?
Of course, these figures are of concern. The first thing to say is we investigate every single death. And I personally see every single report. And where changes need to be made, we make those changes.
But your figures are by far and away the highest for that year. In fact, you're 30 more than the nearest trust. That seems to mean that something is going particularly wrong here.
It's wrong just to generalise from figures because each death is a tragedy. But what I have to say is that we have one of the largest trusts in the country. We're more than twice the size of some of the other trusts. And that, in part, accounts for these large numbers. We see more people. There are more people, sadly, who die.
When you do investigate them, do you find that there are a good proportion of them that could have been prevented?
Certainly, if we had more resources in the trust, we'd be able to employ even more staff, and I'm sure that would help.
Is that what is happening here, that basically you don't have enough staff to make sure that people don't die?
Well, it's a combination of factors. And certainly we don't have enough resources. I've said that before. Our staff work very, very hard. But of course we could do more with more resources. My job is to put that right. So we look at what's happening, we look at each death, and we make changes where they're necessary.
But in the last 6 months of recording, you have had 72 deaths. So it looks like you're going to have an even higher figure this year.
When we look at comparable data, there's a national service that actually compares this data. What's found is that we are high reporters of incidents, and that's a good thing because it represents a transparency in our trust. It shows that people are talking about what's happening and what's going wrong.
It is good to be transparent, but it's not good that these people are dying in the first place.
Let me finish. It's a high reporting of low harm incidents. That's what we find in the comparable figures. Of course, we don't want any unexpected deaths, but these figures really can't be relied on to show that.
Norman Lamb says these figures should cause an outcry in the same way that the mid-staff scandal did. Would you like to see a public outcry?
I'd be very happy for there to be more attention on mental health services, absolutely.
Michael Scott, thank you very much.